Abdullah, Shakrika, Gauri, and Roni. Hope everyone is good. So,
Yes.
so in the previous class, we had completed major topics in the chapter like the sex determination of the unborn child. Basically, the gender of the baby, we have learned about that, how it is determined. Further, we learned about some of the important glands, right now? The glands that will be secreting hormones other than the sex hormones. So namely, so far we have learned about the thyroid gland. We learned about this. Answer one question, all of you to tell me what is the main secretion of the thyroid gland? What is the name of the hormone secreted by the thyroid gland?
Thyrox.
Others also answer this. Everyone has to answer this, and everyone turn your cameras on in the class. Shukrika, Gauri, Abdullah, Roni, all of you turn your cameras on in the class. Yeah. Everyone heard me? Turn your cameras on in the class. Gauri, what is the main secretion of the thyroid gland? Hello. Abdullah, you tell me what is the secretion of the thyroid gland? What is the name of the hormone that is secreted by the thyroid gland? Thyroxine, okay, na? Okay. What about you guys? You guys also turn your cameras on in the class. Name two secretions of the pancreas. Name two secretions of the pancreas. Along with that, mention their function also. Mention their function also.
Pancreas.
Repeat again.
So the hormone released by the pancreas.
Yeah, hormone released by the pancreas. I have to take some important notes from today's class. Your performance is being evaluated. Everyone's performance are being evaluated in the class. Yes. Abdullah, you were there in the previous class? I think you were absent.
Yes, I wasn't.
What about you, Gauri? You were present in the previous class?
Yes, sir.
What is the main secretion of the pancreas? Yes, Jakrika, that is correct. Very good. So that is insulin and glucagon. Okay. That is insulin and glucagon. Getting it? We learned about this now. Insulin, how insulin will be working in regulating our blood sugar level? Yes, Chakrika and Gauri, particularly the question is to you guys, as you guys were present in the previous class. To others, I can't say like they were absent. Yes.
So basically, when there is excess level of sugar in our body, the insulin helps in reducing the levels of sugar by making them go into the cells of our body by distributing them evenly in our cells.
Well done. And there the glucose will be utilized by the cell to do respiration and to obtain energy. Okay. And what does the glucagon do?
So glucagon stimulates with liver to release the sugar.
So when the blood sugar level will be low in the blood, when the level of sugar in the blood drops very low, so then the glucagon will be stimulating the liver to release the stored sugar back into the blood. Okay, now getting it, Roni? Let me revise this. Some of you were absent. Roni and Abdullah, particularly if your exams are over, everyone be consistent in the class. Okay, now. So pancreas, which is one of the important gland, it is also said to be a digestive gland. It helps in the process of digestion. Apart from that, it secretes glucagon and insulin. When the sugar level or the glucose level in the blood increases, then insulin is secreted. And insulin will be pushing that glucose into the cell where the glucose will be utilized to obtain energy. Basically, it will be used to do respiration. Further, there is another hormone that is by the name of glucagon. Glucagon will be preventing the insulin level from dropping too low in the body. It maintains an adequate amount of insulin level in the body. Further, if the level of glucose in the blood drops now. An important fact I have told in the class that the extra sugar in our body gets stored in the liver. Getting it? So what the glucagon is going to do, the glucagon is going to stimulate the liver in order to release the stored sugar back into the blood so that the blood sugar level will return to normal level. In case the blood sugar has dropped too low, it will return to normal. So that is how these two hormones work. Okay, na? Roni, you there in the class? Yes, Roni? Is your mic issue resolved or not? Try to resolve it quickly. Try to resolve it as soon as possible, okay? Because it's kind of a hindrance in proper interaction in the class. Okay, and Khadija, please, dear, try to join the class on given time. Okay, na? In this manner, like you'll be missing on important things. Wait, then we learned about the adrenal gland. Where is it located? Is it located on the lungs, kidney, heart? Where is it located?
Sir, above the kidney.
Okay, and how many adrenal glands are there?
2.
Two. What is the shape of the adrenal gland?
Triangle.
Triangular. Okay. Chakrika, you tell me what are the two layers of the adrenal gland, two parts of the adrenal gland in which it is divided?
So one is the cortex and one is the medulla.
Which one secretes the adrenaline hormone? Is it the medulla or the cortex?
Sir, it's the medulla.
Medulla. And the cortex will be secreting?
Cortisol.
Cortisol. Okay, na? Exactly. So adrenaline will be maintaining, it will be managing the stress level in the body as it increases the blood sugar level. It will dilate the pupil. When you enter into a bright room, what happens? The size of the pupil increases in size now. Then it is said to be a dilated pupil. If I were to flash light into your eyes, so thereby the size of the pupil will decrease. So this increase or decrease in the size of the pupil is controlled by the adrenaline. Okay, now further adrenaline increases your heart rate. By increasing the heart rate, it will increase the flow of the blood in your body. So if the blood flow increases in the body, you will feel more active. Also, the cells in your body will be receiving more food, it will be receiving more oxygen, hence the process of respiration will also increase and you will get more energy. There will be a rush of energy if too much of adrenaline is secreted. Why does the okay, this one, yeah, what basically happens now, if too much of light, where I'm answering the question of Roni, he has asked like why does the size of the people increases or decreases. So you guys would see this black spot in your eyes. Huh? If you were to flash the torchlight in towards your eye, or if a bright light were to fall on your eye, you will observe that the size of this black dot, this pupil will decrease because it's the gateway of the eye. It's the opening through which the eye enters into your eye. The light enters into your eyes. If too much of light were to enter into our eyes, will it not damage our eyes? It will damage our eyes, isn't it? Yes, Khadija? So it will shrink in size. It will shrink in size if a bright light is projected towards our eye. Further, if we are in a dim room, in a dim light, so thereby the size of the people will increase to allow maximum light to enter into the eyes so that we can see the things around us clearly. Got this, Roni? You can just raise your hand if you have still doubt in this. Okay. Further, we learned about the pituitary gland. We learned that it is called as the master gland. You guys answered to me. I told in the class there were two main secretions of the pituitary gland. One that will be stimulating the mammary gland to produce the milk. Another one is responsible for the growth in the height, growth in the bones, growth in the muscles, etc. What are those two hormones? Chakrika, that is good. Gauri, you were also there in the previous class. So answer is expected from you also. Yes, Chakrika, that is correct. Yes, Gauri. Okay, so for those of you who were not present and not paying attention, let me
So,
repeat this.
can you repeat the question?
My question was, what are the two main hormones secreted by the pituitary gland?
Growth hormone
Hmm.
and thyroid, something like that.
Oh no, it's prolactin.
Okay.
Prolactin. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Very good, Khadija. So pituitary gland, which is located here in our brain is divided into different parts. As one of you asked me. So thereby you have cerebellum, and then you have this spinal cord, also called as brainstem. Nonetheless, this pituitary gland is located over here, and it is very small. It is as small as the size of a pea, right? In the pea that we eat, the green pea that we eat, consume. So this will be secreting prolactin. The prolactin will be stimulating the mammary gland to produce the milk. Further, it also secretes growth hormone, which is responsible for the growth of the person. How does the growth of the person takes place? By increment in the length of the bones of our limbs, increment in the size of the muscles, etc. Further, another important function of the pituitary gland is that it will be controlling the secretions of all other endocrine glands in our body, specifically like how much of adrenaline has to be secreted, when it has to be secreted, how much of testosterone, progesterone, egesterone, or how much of thyroxine by the thyroid gland, or how much of insulin and glucagon by the pancreas has to be secreted. All of it is regulated by the pituitary gland. So thereby it was called as the master gland. Hope that is clear to everyone. Yes?
So
Everyone got it so far? Yes?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, let me revise this. Pituitary gland now, it is called as the master gland. Why it is called as the master gland? Just like we know that our brain controls the activity of the all organs in our body. Right now we can say is the master organ of the body. Brain, we can call that, isn't it?
yes, sir.
So in the similar manner, this gland, that is the pituitary gland, it will be controlling the secretions of all other glands. Like how much of adrenaline has to be secreted by the adrenal gland, in which situation it will be secreted. Right now, similarly, how much of testosterone will be secreted by the testis, when it will be secreted. So all these things are being controlled by the pituitary gland. Getting it? Now that's why this is called as the master gland. Hope that clears the doubt.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we had the parathyroid gland. So the parathyroid gland, it produces the parathyroid hormone. The name is the this is the hormone, parathormone, that is secreted by the parathyroid gland. And this gland is just located behind the thyroid gland. Like in front of this, thyroid gland is present. So if this is thyroid gland, right behind this parathyroid gland is present. Got this now? That is one thing. Further, this parathyroid hormone, or basically this parathormone that you guys can see here, as I have highlighted here, it performs various functions in the body. Just like, adrenaline have some function to perform, growth hormone have some function to perform, so as this one also has some function to perform. Let's look at the function performed by this. This hormone will be regulating the level of calcium. It will regulate the level of magnesium, regulate the level of phosphorus in the blood and in our bones. So what does it do? It regulates the
function of hormone.
level of phosphorus, calcium, and magnesium in the bones and blood. In the bones and blood. Got this, everyone? And these minerals, okay, you guys would have learned about the components of food, right now. Two components of the food, particularly vitamins and minerals, they are protective in nature. They offer protection to the body by improving the immune system and preventing us from various kind of diseases. So right now, talking about minerals particularly, minerals are important for the health. Although we require mineral in micro quantity, not in major quantity, but they have significant role to perform in our body. Like these minerals that I have mentioned here, magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, particularly calcium and phosphorus, they are important for the muscles and for the proper functioning of our nerve in the body. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
As you
sir.
guys would have learned about these things early in your early classes about calcium and phosphorus. Okay. So that is one thing. Okay. Further, what this hormone will do now, it will stimulate the, like calcium is stored in the blood, in the bones, isn't it? If someone were to ask in which part of your body maximum amount of calcium will be found, it's obviously bones, right? Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Further, I say that calcium not only improves the health of the bone, but it has got some other functions also. Like it is important for the healthy functioning of our nerves also. Nerves, you guys understand, no? Nerves. The signal from one part of the body to other part of the body, from different parts of the body to the brain, are sent by the nerve cells. So that it functions properly, a good amount of calcium is required by the body. So this hormone, what it will do now, it will stimulate the bones to release the calcium into the blood. What it will do? It stimulates the bones to release calcium in the blood. In the blood. Here in a bracket, I should write down this important thing is that calcium is important first for bones and second for healthy functioning of nerves. Healthy functioning of nerves. Hope this much should be clear to everyone, right? Okay, now. Now there is some problem also associated with this hormone. If it is secreted in excess amount, if it is produced in extra quantity, then it can lead to several problems like kidney stones and brittle bones. Brittle bones. Brittle, you guys understand this term?
Yes.
Yes,
Huh?
sir.
Brittle is the property because of which something can be broken into different pieces. Now, remember moments ago what I have been saying here. You guys pay attention to this statement. It stimulates the bones to release calcium in the blood. So, guys, you think about this. If too much of hormone is secreted, if too much of this hormone is secreted, so thereby it will highly stimulate the bones to release extra amount of calcium in the blood. So, if the bone is going to lose a significant amount of calcium into the blood, so will this bone not become weak?
Yes, sir.
Everyone try getting it or not?
Yes, sir. Get.
So thereby it will not become brittle. Khadija, you understood this? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
So that is one thing. Further, it can lead to kidney stones also. So let me write this thing also, that excess secretion will cause two problems. First is the kidney stone, another is the brittle bone. Okay. Next, we are going to learn about the pineal gland. So pineal gland, it's a very small gland, and it is also present in the brain. Here, this is where the pineal gland is present. Okay, now, and it will be producing particularly a hormone by the name of melatonin. The name of the hormone secreted by the pineal gland is melatonin. Melatonin. Okay, now this melatonin hormone, it's a hormone that will be helpful in regulating the body's rhythm and seasonal psychology. Getting it now? So let's understand it in detail. It's kind of responsible for the working of the internal clock of the body. This means that it is going to influence the cardiac rhythm or the sleep wake cycle of the body. When you are going to sleep, when the body will go to sleep, when the body is going to wake up, huh? So all this sleep cycle, it is being controlled by this melatonin hormone right now. Further, our heart is beating in a rhythmic fashion right now. Our heart takes a specific amount of time to complete one heartbeat, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now.
Yes,
So
sir.
different kind of rhythmic movement that is happening in our body, whether it be the rhythmic beating of the heart, that it will be controlled by this, whether it be the duration of the sleep cycle, when the person is going to sleep, when the person is going to wake up, all of these are being controlled by this. That is one thing. Okay. Further, there are some other functions also performed by this, like it can help in regulating the, it can help in what do you say, it can help now in strengthening the immune system of the body as well. Hmm? That is one thing. It can regulate our mood also, but nonetheless the main function is that it will be regulating the sleep cycle of the body. Basically it will be helping in regulating the internal clock of the body, right? Further, look at the location. Where is it present? So it is located between the two halves of the brain. It is located between the two halves of the brain. So this is where it is present. Like this is the brain, for example. In the middle of the two half of the brain, it will be present. Okay, na? And at a distance, you can notice pituitary gland is also present here. This is the pituitary gland, and this here is the pineal gland. Got this now? And pineal gland and all, one of the important thing is that pineal gland is also called as the third eye. This is also called as the third eye. It was commonly called as the third eye. Like there are several reasons for this. One thing is that uh, one thing we say that it is located very deep in the center of the brain. Further, it is uh, kind of connected to light in some manner. Hmm? Just like our eyes would be responding to the light and dark color, I mean to say, just like how our eyes would be reacting to the light and how it will be reacting to the darkness. So this pineal gland also has some cells which are sensitive to light. Some cells which are sensitive to light. So the secretion of the pineal gland, that is melatonin, it is kind of regulated with respect to the light that will be changing throughout the day. Getting it what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Particularly this point is very important. This point is very important. So the pineal gland, actually, it will be kind of sensing the light and darkness through the retina. What it does now, through the help of the retina. You guys understand the retina now? The back portion of the eye. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So it will be sensing the light and the darkness. It will be sensing whether it is a day or whether it is night through the help of the retina. Got this now? So because of that, it will be secreting the melatonin, and melatonin will be promoting the sleep. So an important point to be noted down is that why it is being called as the third eye. One reason is that it is deep in the center of brain. Another reason why it is called as the third eye is that it is basically it is light sensitive. It is light sensitive. So question is, how is it sensitive to light? So basically it can sense whether it is day or whether it is night through the help of retina. So it can sense light and darkness through the help of retina, and releases melatonin. Releases melatonin, which promotes sleep. Which promotes sleep. In fact, last night I was actually studying on this topic of melatonin. I was actually studying on the medicines which promotes sleep. So thereby I got to know about a medicine by the name of this hormone melatonin. Okay, na? But if someone were to take this, it can, like, there are some people who take sleep medicines, and it has some adverse effect on the health. During the day, when the person will wake, they might suffer from headache or feel drowsiness throughout the day. So hope this pineal gland is clear to everyone. Any questions from this?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Okay, before we continue, you guys answer a few questions from parathyroid and pineal gland. Okay. Do tell me the parathyroid gland, where is it situated?
Sorry, the thyroid gland.
Repeat again.
Inside the thyroid gland.
No, parathyroid gland. I'm asking about the location of parathyroid gland in the body.
Behind the thyroid glands.
Behind the thyroid gland. Getting it, everyone?
Like next to thyroid gland.
How we can say not next, but behind. Okay, now if you were to say next to thyroid gland, it will mean that if this is thyroid gland and this will be the parathyroid gland, but that is not the case. This is your thyroid gland, so right behind that, the parathyroid gland is there. Okay, now, so it's like that. Okay, now do tell me, what is the name of the hormone secreted by the pineal gland?
Melatonin.
Okay, everyone have to answer this.
Same, sir.
Same.
Same, sir.
Good. Also, even if one student have answered something correctly, it is a good thing that everyone repeats that in the class. Okay, na? So that it will be kind of helpful in remembering it for you guys. Okay. Also, do tell me which hormone, which gland will be helpful in maintaining the sleep cycle.
Pineal
Pineal
gland.
gland.
It is pineal gland. Very good. Okay. Where is pineal gland situated?
In the
The two halves of the brain.
Okay, what were you saying, Gauri?
between the two halves of the brain.
Okay, no. So it is situated in the middle of the brain, in between the two halves of the brain. Very good. Okay. Now, if you guys think about this, that if melatonin hormone is not secreted in sufficient amount, what problem the person will suffer from?
Not enough sleep.
Right. Basically, the
Insomnia.
exactly, that is the word I was going to say. Very good, Chukrika. Insomnia, lack of sleep. Right now. Also, have you guys observed that as a person becomes old now, his sleep cycle, his sleep decreases? Melatonin, actually, what happens now? It decreases during the process of aging. During the process of aging, it decreases. So you will observe, particularly in the old age group now, particularly in the elderly peoples, we see that the secretion has decreased. Because of this, they can suffer from certain kind of problems, like they suffer from dementia, they suffer from disorder in their mood, they suffer from the disorder in their sleep also. Getting it now? So it can lead to disorder of the mood. Yes.
I think so.
Okay, that is something. Okay, no? By the way, dementia, you guys understand what is dementia? DEMENTIA.
No, sir.
Okay. Dementia is basically a condition in which the person's ability to think properly, to remember something properly, or to have a proper argument, to have a proper reasoning, it decreases. It is severely affected right now, because the fish, their daily life routine will be affected a lot. Got this now? So that is called as dementia. So we observe the person who will be suffering from dementia, they will be having difficulty in recalling the things. They will not be able to think properly. Their reasoning, the capability of having a logical reasoning will decrease. So that can also happen due to the decrease in melatonin secretion. Okay, then let's continue with this topic today. Okay. One of you please read the given paragraph.
So can
Yes.
I?
Yeah, sure.
Role of hormones in completing the life cycle of insects and frogs. Thyroxine hormones secreted by thyroid gland help in growth of frogs. The production of thyroxine hormones require the presence of iodine in water. If ponds do not have sufficient iodine, thyroxine hormones doesn't form and tadpoles are unable to metamorphose into frogs.
Very good. What we know that there are different kind of insects, different kind of small creatures like frogs. You have insects like silk moth. So they will be undergoing the process of metamorphosis, in which their body will develop in different stages, in which there will be drastic changes in their physical outlook. As you guys would have learned about this in the previous classes, where you would have learned about how the frog goes through the metamorphosis process right now. So whether it be the process of metamorphosis in the frog or in the insect, particularly in the case of the frog, what happens, the thyroid gland is found in their body also. The thyroid gland is present in them also, and the thyroid gland, as we know, it secretes the thyroxine hormone. And for thyroxine hormone, iodine is required now. For production of thyroxine hormone, iodine is required. Getting it now?
Yes,
There's
sir.
a spelling error here, but not thyroxine, but it is thyroxine. Okay, so that is required. So if proper amount of iodine is not present, so proper amount of thyroxine will not be secreted. Getting it now? So if the ponds do not have sufficient iodine, thyroxine hormone does not form basically, right now, and the tadpoles will be unable to metamorphose into the frogs. So if frogs, in the frogs, we know that thyroid gland in them releases thyroxine, which will be controlling the process of metamorphosis in them. And thyroxine only produces with the help of iodine that will be present in the water in this case. How do we humans get iodine? We get it from, in case of humans, how do we get iodine? We get it from iodized salt. And yes, from seafood. From the seafood also we get iodine. Okay, now? In the case of the frog, it will be getting from the water. So if the water does not have the iodine, how will it produce thyroxine? And thyroxine plays a great role in the metamorphosis process. So it will be greatly affecting the metamorphosis in frogs. That is one thing. Same thing happens in the case of the silk moth also. Okay, now? So there also thyroxine hormone is required. Got this, everyone? So that is one thing. Okay. Furthermore, talking about the reproductive health. So there are different factors which leads to overall well-being in an adolescent, which leads to overall well-being in an adolescent. Like for example, talking about the health of adolescents, particularly nutritional health of adolescents. Like for the healthy body of an adolescent, what do we know? We know that they need to have a healthy diet. They should not be consuming any kind of drugs, any kind of tobacco, any kind of alcohol use should be strictly avoided. Physical activity is important for the healthy growth of the bones, healthy growth of the muscles. Further, talking about the diet, they should particularly consume food items like pulses and nuts, as they are a good source of protein. They should consume citrus fruits, as they contain vitamin C in them. Citric acid is present in it, which is important for the health of the body. Right now, if the body is not getting adequate amount of vitamin C, the person might suffer from scurvy. In scurvy, you might have seen in your textbooks, you might have seen the images in which there will be bloody gums. Wound will not be healing. Getting it now? So to avoid a deficiency disease, vitamin C is important, particularly to avoid scurvy. Sugar and roti, that is basically chapati, made from wheat. So that is a good source of carbohydrate. It provides energy. Oil, particularly, which oil is good? Particularly, oil is basically a source of fat. Fat, you guys would be aware there are two kinds of fat: saturated fat and unsaturated fat. Saturated fat is the fat that is present in the animal based food. Getting it, everyone? Particularly when we talk about fat, there are two types of fat. We have the saturated fat. Another one is the unsaturated fat. Unsaturated fat. If you ever happen to consult to a nutritionist specialist. He will never recommend to consume the saturated fat that is present in the meat. Getting it now? So what happens? The saturated fat, it increases the bad cholesterol level in the blood, while the unsaturated fat, it will increase the good cholesterol in the blood. Getting it, everyone? And where is it present? In the, these are plant based. So whether you have mustard oil, you have coconut oil, you have palm oil, all of them contain unsaturated fat. Nonetheless, what we know that they also provide energy. So carbohydrates, do they provide more energy than fats? Do they provide more energy than carbohydrate or less energy? Yes.
More energy.
In fact, it provides 4 times more energy than the carbohydrates. Vegetables, they are a good source of vitamin, mineral, and they keep our body healthy and free from the disease. Can you guys mention some of the important vitamins?
Vitamin.
Vitamin B.
Okay.
Vitamin D.
Okay.
Vitamin B2.
Vitamin B2. Vitamin B1, vitamin B3, B7, B9, B12, so many vitamin, all of them together are called as B complex, right now? Vitamin B1, B2, B3, B5, B7, B9, B6, and B12. All of them are called as vitamin B complex. It's a group of vitamin B. Okay, and you have, yes, Khadija, Roni, mention a few more vitamins. Vitamin E. Can you guys?
E.
Yes.
Sir, K.
Exactly. What is the importance of vitamin K for our body? How is it vitamin K important for the body?
It's important for the blood.
How? In what manner it is important?
Liver functioning.
Particularly for,
Healing.
repeat again?
For wound healing.
No, particularly for the clotting of the blood. Vitamin K is particularly important for the blood clotting. Getting it now?
Sir, bone health.
For the health of the bone also, very good. For the health of the bone, for the health of the different tissues in our body, it is important. But it is mainly important for clotting, and sometimes we know it by the name of vitamin clotting or clotting vitamin. That is also a term used for it. Okay, now?
Therefore,
And yeah, and it is particularly present in the green leafy vegetables like kale, like broccoli, like spinach. Okay, no? Like kiwi, particularly kiwi is a very good source of vitamin K. Got this? Okay. Anyways, so these are the these basically the adolescents, children who are in the people who are in their adolescent age, they should have a balanced diet. A balanced diet is a diet that contains all the nutrients in sufficient amount. That is one thing. Further, personal hygiene should also be promoted when in the case of the like a personal hygiene one, what we know that it will be helpful in maintaining the mental and physical well-being of the adolescent. Okay, no? So there are different ways how one can maintain their personal hygiene. Simply having a bath daily, as we know that the sweat gland and the oil gland are continuously secreting the sweat and the oil on the skin now. And like what will it do? It will lead to a bad odor coming from the body. Right now, what we know about this, that the sweat and the oil gland, they are continuously producing sweat plus oil, and because of this, as they are secreted on the on our body, is on our skin, so thereby it can give a bad odor. So regular bathing is very important. Okay, no? Furthermore, we should maintain cleanliness of the body. In many other ways, we can maintain the cleanliness of the body by wearing clean clothes, etc. So that is one important thing. Particularly in the case of the females, they should particularly take note of the menstrual cycle and prepare themselves accordingly, maintain their hygiene accordingly. That is one thing. Another important thing is physical exercise. Physical exercise. So exercise, uh, we can keep our body healthy. Not only exercise keeps our body healthy, but exercise is also a means of getting relief from the stress, and it is important for maintaining our mental well-being also. Also, regular physical exercise can boost your immune system also. Getting it, guys? So increases immunity, right? Furthermore, it is good for bones and the muscles. Good for bones and muscles, and further it is good for the mental well-being also. Mental well-being. You guys know what happens to the body of the astronauts when they go in the space? What happens to them? Yeah. What happens to the body of the astronauts when they are in the space? In the space, the gravitational force is very, very weak now,
Yes, sir.
right? When they are in the International Space Station, so the gravity is very much weak. So if they were to spend several months in the space now, they end up losing the bone density. Bones become less denser. It is said that every month, like for example, if a person has lived in the space for 6 months, so in the course of 6 months, the body of the person would have the bone density of the person would have decreased by 12%. So meaning that each month 2% of the bone density is decreasing. Getting it? What I'm trying to say? So thereby they will have to do regular exercise in order to avoid the decrease in the bone density, avoid the decrease in their strength. Getting it now? That is one thing. Further, you guys know there's one also important thing to be noticed at. Recently, I learned about this, that astronauts can grow few inches taller in this space. They grow few inches taller in their space, and because of this, there can be development of pain in their body. Right now, sometimes their nerves can also be injured. Got this, no? So that is one thing. So why I'm talking about this? The thing is that, say on Earth, for example, if someone is laying on the bed for several weeks, say someone is, let's say someone is in a coma. Okay. So what will happen? The person obviously won't be able to do any kind of body movement. He won't be able to do any kind of exercise. So say when he wakes up, when he recovers, what will happen? Will his bone density be same? Will his bone density be same? Will his muscle mass be same, or will it have decreased?
Decreased.
What about others? Abdullah, Chakrika, Khadija, Roni, you guys there in the class or
Repeat
not?
the question.
Yes, sir, it will be decreased.
My question was, now, if a person is in coma, let's say he's in coma for an year, for a few months, let's say for a whole year he was in coma. So after, let's say he recovers, when he will wake up from the coma, so his body will have the same bone density, or it will have decreased, or it will also have the same muscle mass, or it will have decreased.
So decrease.
Decrease now, why? Because the body has not done any kind of physical activity. That is one thing. Okay. Also, it's a common observation, if you guys were to start doing regular exercise, your bone density will improve, your muscle mass in the body will increase. So that's why physical exercise is important for the body. Okay. Furthermore, one should avoid any kind of drugs, any kind of smoking should be strictly avoided. Okay, now, because drugs are addictive, and once a person takes it, they will feel like taking them again and again. Okay, now, also, if someone is like highly addicted to drugs, and if they were to take it via the syringes, and let's say if that syringe is infected with the HIV virus, if that is infected with the HIV virus, so that will lead to AIDS now, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Got this now?
Yes,
So
sir.
that is one thing. Okay. Also, this AIDS virus, by the way, it is not only transmitted via the infected syringe, like it can be transmitted through the sexual contact, or it can also be transmitted from the infected mother's milk. Right now, so that is the case here. So here we have completed the chapter. If you guys happen to have any questions, please let me know. Yes. Okay, tell me. There are some students in the class who were not regular in this chapter. Either their exams were going on, or due to some other reasons, they were not regular while this chapter was started, and while it has been completed. Abdullah, I think you haven't been able to attend all the class, right?
Yes, sir.
Khadija, you also have missed some of the classes in this right now.
Yes, sir.
Roni, I think you also. For that, what we can do, by the way, this chapter, has it been done in the school of you guys, particularly Abdullah, Khadija, and Roni?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Not yet. Okay. You guys do one thing. In one of the class now, when the another class will be scheduled, I will be calling you guys 15 minutes prior to the timing of the class. Okay. There I will revise the topics that you guys have left. Okay. Kindly
Okay,
keep,
sir.
take note of this. Okay. Now we are going to do some questions. Okay. Yeah. You guys read the question and all of you start answering one by one. Or you can answer in the chat box. Just write the option number. Okay. Yes. What do you guys think? Chiktika, that is correct. Very good. Khadija, no need to write the whole sentence. I will understand even if it just write the option number. That is good, by the way. All if you write on this ID, don't answer on mistakenly. Don't answer on the other ID. Okay. Yes, Gauri. Very good. Yes, Roni and Abdullah. I'm waiting for your answers. Yes. Okay. In the case of determination of the sex, what we have learned that the mother have the XX chromosome, right? While the father has the XY chromosome. Basically, the um, what we have learned that the egg will have the X chromosome, and the sperm can either have X or the Y chromosome. Got this one? So ovum have the X chromosome, and sperm can either have the X or the Y chromosome. So you guys answer this to me. If the ovum having the X chromosome is being fertilized by the sperm carrying X chromosome, so the baby that is born will be having XX chromosome. So will it be the male or the female?
Female.
Female.
Female. Well done. And in the other situation, XY that is
Male.
male. Very good. Okay, what is adolescence? Very good, Khadija. Chikrika, Gauri. Very good. Roni, you haven't been answering the questions, and neither you're asking the doubt like whether you're getting the concept or not. Yes. So for question number 3, some of you haven't answered, but that is 12 years, okay? And for this, it's option number B. Very good. Which of the following is a common physical change during adolescence? Okay, but during the class, avoid all other activities. Okay. Um, Continue from here, Roni. Okay, na? Continue from here. Yes, Gauri, that is correct. Yes, Khadija, good. Yeah. That is the development of the secondary sexual characteristics. Okay. If you guys answered this already, so do tell me what are the secondary sexual characteristics that develops in the male and that develops in the female?
The body odor and
Oh,
more
okay.
body hair,
Okay.
etc.
Okay. And okay, Abdullah has answers this. Everyone answer some important point in this.
The development of reproductive organs.
So
Secondary
widening
sexual
of hips,
characteristics.
Secondary.
Mhm. Yeah, good.
increase
Uh,
in height.
exactly. Gauri, let me just point you there. We have to mention the secondary sexual characteristics. Okay, now the development of the sex organ, they are the primary sexual characteristics. Okay.
So also the growth of Adam's apple for males.
Deepening of voice.
Deepening of voice. Khadija, what were you saying? Can you repeat?
The growth of Adam's apple.
Yeah, exactly. The growth of the Adam's apple. Good.
Of facial hairs.
Growth of facial hairs. In the case of the boy, growth of hair on the chest. In both the male and female, growth of hair under the arms and in the pubic area. Right. Okay, so that are the some of the secondary sexual characteristics. Good. Okay, here are 5 questions. Hope you guys can see this properly.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's just start from here. So, which hormone is primarily responsible for the development of secondary sexual characteristics in boys during adolescence? Okay, Chakrika, that is correct. Very good. For second, you have answered. For question number 2, now I would recommend you to revisit the question again. Read the question once again. All of you pay attention to question number 2 particularly. Don't get confused in this one. Gauri, for the first one, what have you answered? Read the question again, Gauri. Yes, Rooney, what have you answered? You haven't answered it yet. Yeah, now it is correct, Gauri. Good. For the first one, the obvious answer is yes, Khadija, you haven't answered it. Neither you have answered it, Abdullah. Okay, now you have answered. No, that is wrong. For the second one, that is correct. For the third one, you have answered. Good. For the fourth one, you have answered.
So
Hmm.
if second one
For
is
the
not
fourth one.
correct,
No, second one is not correct. The reason is that let me begin with the first one. Which hormone is primarily responsible for development of secondary sexual characteristics in boys? So that is obviously testosterone. In the second one, it should be puberty because it is talking about sexual maturity. Sexual maturity. Puberty is the time when the body sexually matures now.
so
That is
that's
all.
what I kept right to a puberty.
1 minute. Let me check it once again. Okay. My bad. Okay, correct. Okay. Yes, Gauri, that is correct. And Khadija, for the last one, you have answered. Yeah, that is correct. Good. For the third one, you have answered. Yeah. Okay. So for the third one, which of the following is not a physical change? Obviously, it is decrease in the height, as all of you have answered it correctly, by the way. For fourth one, Chakrika, you have answered. Good. Okay, so that is pituitary gland. Okay, now it triggers the release of hormones that will be initiating the onset of puberty. Basically, it will be signaling it will be stimulating the testis and the ovary to release testosterone and to release the progesterone, also to release sperm and ovum. Particularly sperm and ovum we should be talking about. Last question, during adolescence, emotional changes occur due to the influence of hormone. Which of the following is a common emotional change during this stage? Increased focus, heightened sensitivity, social situations, decrease in mood swing, reduced interest in peer relationship. The for C and D is obviously not correct. Increased focus and clarity, heightened situation, sensitivity to social situation. The focus and clarity might not be increased in every child, but heightened sensitivity to social situations, that is a common change. And all of you have answered it, I think. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, no? So that's it for today. There are a few more questions that we'll